Anthropic just dropped a new feature for Claude that's got everyone talking. It's called Skills. And honestly, it could totally change how you work with AI. But it's also causing a little bit of confusion. So let's break it down and figure out if skills are a true game changer or just another feature you have to learn.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, what even are skills? Then, we'll look at why this is a whole new way of thinking. We'll put skills head-to-head with the tools you're already using. We'll figure out exactly when a skill is the right move. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at the bigger picture here.
So first things first, what exactly are we talking about when we say Claude skills? Well, before we get to the official definition, let's just get the big question out of the way.
Yeah, I get it. If you're feeling a bit of feature fatigue, you are definitely not alone. A lot of developers are looking at this going, okay, wait, how does this fit in with subagents and slash commands and everything else I'm already using? And you know what? That is a totally fair question.
So let's be super clear. A skill is way more than just a fancy prompt. Think of it like a little self-contained package of your own personal expertise. It's a specific workflow you teach to Claude once, and then it can automatically grab and use that skill whenever and wherever it thinks it's needed. And these analogies are actually a fantastic way to wrap your head around it. A skill is kind of like a mini code base or maybe a USB drive of expertise you can just plug in, or even a playbook for a task you do all the time. The main idea here is that it's a modular, reusable chunk of knowledge for your AI.
And this brings us to a really important point, because skills aren't just some little add-on. They really do represent a new paradigm. It's a completely different way for us to interact with our AI.
And this right here, this is the core shift. It's so important. With something like a slash command, you are the one pulling the trigger. You have to explicitly call it. But with a skill, Claude is the trigger. It understands what you're asking, recognizes the context, and intelligently figures out which skill is the right tool for the job, all by itself.
Now this is where the real magic for efficiency comes in. It's this idea of progressive disclosure. Instead of jamming up your entire context window with a bunch of stuff it might not need, Claude just takes a tiny peek. It only reads the skill's name and description. Only if it thinks, this looks useful, does it actually load the full instructions. It is an incredibly smart way to manage context.
This quote from Brian Kazel it hits the nail on the head. You're making a trade. You give up a little bit of that 100% predictable direct control you get with a command, but what you get back is a huge boost in context efficiency. And in the world of AI, that context window is precious real estate.
Okay, so this brings us to the part that's tripping a lot of people up. We've got all these different tools now, so how do you decide what to use? When do you reach for a skill versus, say, a subagent or a simple slash command?
This table, right here, this clears up just about everything. Let's just walk through it. Look at that first row, the trigger. This is the whole ball game. Skills are automatic. Subagents and slash commands are manual. That's the key difference. So skills are perfect for those repeatable workflows you want Claude to just handle for you. Subagents, you use those for massive, complex jobs that need their own space. And slash commands are your go-to for those quick, precise, one-off instructions you need to fire off right now.
All right, so we've got the theory down. Let's get really practical. Let's look at the exact scenarios where using a skill is absolutely the right call. So think about your own workflow. Do you have any of those well-defined, step-by-step processes that you just do over and over again? Things like generating a commit message in a very specific format, or applying your company's brand guidelines to a document, maybe summarizing your unread emails from Gmail. Any of that stuff is a perfect candidate to be wrapped up into a skill.
And hey, just as important is knowing when not to use one. If you've got a simple one-time instruction, just use a slash command. It's faster. A gigantic, complex workflow that's going to eat up your whole context window, that's a job for a subagent. And if you absolutely need something to run 100% guaranteed every single time you ask, a manual trigger is still your best friend.
This insight from indie dev Dan is so crucial to remember. Your prompts and your slash commands, those are the fundamental building blocks. They're the primitives. Skills are an incredibly powerful way to arrange those blocks into automated workflows, but they don't replace them. The prompt is still the foundation of everything. So let's just zoom out for a second. Why are people getting so excited about this? Why is this more than just another feature on a list? Well, it's because skills really do feel like a major step forward in how we can personalize our AI assistants and scale our own work.
When it comes right down to it, this is what it's all about. You are teaching the AI your specific way of doing things. You capture that unique process, your company's procedure, your personal best practice. You do it just one time. And from that moment on, the AI can apply that knowledge for you automatically forever.
And this is the real beauty of it. The portability is amazing. You're not stuck rebuilding your workflows on different platforms. You create a skill once, and poof, it's instantly available everywhere you use Claude. On the website, on the desktop app, right inside your code editor, even through the API. It just works.
I mean, this really opens up a fascinating future, doesn't it? We're heading towards a world where we can create and even share these little USB drives of expertise to make our AI assistants truly our own. So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What's the very first skill you're going to teach your AI?